What all of us aquarium hobbyists have in common is the fact we want crystal clear water. When you walk up to a fish tank, a lot of times the water appears to be very clear. Then you go down, look at the end of a fish tank long ways, and all of a sudden you see particles and it may not look as clear. It's just a little bit cloudy. What removes this is what's called mechanical filtration. It could be a filter pad, it could be filter floss, it could be a sponge, it could be filter socks. When I had a large aquarium store, as well as an aquarium service division, we service freshwater, saltwater reef aquariums. And our customers expected those tanks to be crystal clear. So over the 25 years I had my aquarium store, we went through all kinds of filter pads. We tested everything we got our hands on to see which ones would work the best to give us the best results. And we found some that were kind of a little bit too flimsy, some that the dye came off into the water. Nothing was really the perfect filter pad. So after I left my aquarium store, I started designing one, went to some factories, went back and forth testing, and finally developed the ultimate pad called our premium dual density filter pad. And what makes this one so special is the fact that it's got dual layers to it. It's got a top layer, which is an open weave to trap large and medium-sized particles, and then we created a dense network of fibers down at the bottom, and this traps fine particles. So as water flows through here, including, could be plant leaves, it could be uneaten fish food, it gets trapped in the top section. The smaller particles are trapped here in the lower section, and the water coming out is very pure. If we turn this pad upside down and we try to run the water through this side, what's going to happen is, because it's so fine, it's going to trap large, medium, and small particles, and it would clog up very rapidly. So when we developed this system, it works out very well. This thing is very durable. You can rinse it several times and reuse it, or you can just replace it. It's available in a 6-foot, 12-foot, 24-foot size, length of 12 inches, or even 18 inches wide for those wider filtration systems, because it'll work in anywhere from wet-dry filters, sumps, to bioball filters, canister filters, hang-on-the-back filtration. And we've designed it where it's really easy to cut. All you do is take a pair of scissors, and you can cut it to fit a canister filter. You just cut the shape out of a cardboard if you want to as a template. Cut the material to the right size. You can save your template in your reclosable plastic Ziploc bag and make as many as you want. As we talked about, water is going to flow now through the open side here first to trap the larger debris, and then through this tighter network. We can also do, if we're having a party or we really want to get those particles out, we can get a polishing pad. Now, a polishing pad are available in different sizes or different micron ratings. We've got a 50 and 100 micron rating here. The 50 micron is a much tighter pore size, meaning it will clog up faster. Now, how this works is the water is going to flow through the open side first into our tight network, and then it's going to go into our polishing pad. So the water is going to flow here just like this, and the water is going to flow right through here, and then back into our aquarium. Again, if the water tries to flow through our polishing pad first, it's going to clog up very quickly. Now, the polishing pad does have a soft side and a rough side, and sometimes it'll have soft sides and soft side. The reason for the rough side is for fiber migration. It'll keep these things from getting rough or kind of like pilling up. Generally, I put the smooth side up, so again, the water is going to flow through. Let's put these guys together. And again, you can just cut this out to go in your wet-dry filter, your canister filter, your hang-on filter, whatever you want to put it into, whatever works for your system here. And the water is going to flow through this very big side first, a very fluffy, wide space side. And then I'll go through our fine network here. Now, I love my dual density filter pad, and this doesn't work for everybody. It probably works for 90 to 95% of the aquariums out there. And the reason why is because some people keep large fish or lots of fish, or they feed their fish very heavily, which means this little booger can clog up not very rapidly, but fairly rapidly. It could clog up within a week or so. And one of the keys is you do want to change this filter, or at least rinse it pretty often to keep your water quality up. But people travel. They don't have time to rinse as much as they could, or they got a lot of large fish, eat a lot of live food. So they don't really want this really tight weave. They want more of an open weave. And this is more a classic line is here. And it does have a blue dye to it. It does have a white background on it. Now, this is not a dual density, even though you'll see these filters that are colored pink and orange and red and green, it doesn't mean that they're dual density. It just means they've been dyed to make it look pretty. So in this case, it doesn't matter if the water flows through this way or this way. It's still going to trap larger debris, but it's not going to trap the fine debris as our pad here. Now the dye, we chose not to use a dye in this one, but a lot of people, we had our aquarium store, a lot of times our dye would come off in the water. We see a red dye or a blue dye or a purple dye come off into the water, which means it's using our carbon up. Our carbon's being used to suck that dye out of the water. We don't want to do that. So we did the research on it and found out that the glue they were using was a polyvinyl acetate, which is water resistant, not waterproof. It's like using wood glues. So what we did was we figured out how to use an actual waterproof glue, mix our blue dye with this, so when you're using it, it's not going to turn back to white again. You're not going to be feeding your carbon, or if you're not using carbon, your water's not going to turn a blue color or a pink color or an orange color. Now, for people that want to have parties or you want to have people over there, you can, now again, like we layered the other one, you can layer it with a polishing pad and run the water through so you can get that water to be crystal clear at certain times, and then just get rid of the pad and run it like you would if you're going to travel or whichever you're going to do. The great part about all these mediums is the fact that we can wash them. We can rinse this stuff out under the sink and reuse it again. If we're using it for biological filtration systems, then we want to rinse it in dechlorinated water. But if not, we can just rinse it in regular water. Now this particular one, you can actually wash in the washing machine, and you can go to our website and find more details about how to actually clean this one if you really want to get it super clean to reuse it. If not, all these things come in large packages where you can just dispose of it. It's just buying in bulk. Now, as I mentioned, I do like these guys. Again, my favorite filter by far is the dual density. For most of you, you should be using the dual density. You'll love it. Our reviews come back phenomenal from our customers. Our service companies love it. This is the one you should go with.